Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Diecast Duels. Today we have the battle of the modern Lamborghini Countach. We have MiniGT taking on Hot Wheels. MiniGT represents our blue square, Hot Wheels representing our red square. Now, these releases both came out in 2023, I believe. MiniGT's might have actually been early 2024. Regardless, they came out in a similar time frame. They are both pretty good. There is strong pros and cons for both. So let's take a closer look and see which one of these is the superior model. Round 1 is going to be casting and proportions, worth 5 points. So taking a close look here at the MiniGT, we will see that our proportions are spot on as you would expect it to be. Our metal sections are basically all that you can see. The mirrors are, of course, just rubber, and then there is some little tiny plastic inserts here and there, but not too shabby. The Hot Wheels, on the other hand, is once again a metal on metal and looks very good. Not any super noticeable plastic other than the headlights, so that is something to note for sure. Putting them side by side, you can see that they are not identical size-wise. The MiniGT is ever so slightly larger. We know the MiniGT is a true 1/64th, which means that the Hot Wheels is probably like a 1/65th, so ever so slightly different. But the biggest complaint a lot of people have on the Hot Wheels is the really large rear wheel, kind of giving it odd proportions, and I can definitely see that complaint. The MiniGT has definitely got the better proportions of the two when it comes blow to blow. The Hot Wheels one also lacks any mirrors, which is definitely disappointing. Even the little plastic, or not the plastic, the little metal nubs that they normally give it look better than nothing. We do get really nice mirrors on the MiniGT. Coming to the back engine cover area, you can see that the window piece is clear on the MiniGT, allowing you to see engine detail inside, whereas on the Hot Wheels, it is not, and you can't see any engine details in there. A bit of a bummer for sure. Getting into just the actual detailing of the casting itself, everything is very similar, actually. Like, this is kind of etched in, that is there, this is here. Everything basically the same on the MiniGT. What you expect to have little detailing has the detailing, so it's definitely pretty close. On the rear sections here, you can see once again, they look very, very similar. Up front, again, very similar. It's just very, very good job on the casting details from both companies. So that will close out round 1, and the scores are going to be 3 points for MiniGT and 2 points for Hot Wheels. The just ever so slightly crispier level of casting on the MiniGT, as well as the slightly better proportions and the mirrors, all give it just a slight edge over the Hot Wheels. But again, there's not a huge difference here. Round 2, paint and details. So the biggest thing we need to talk about right off the bat is the orange peeled paint on the Hot Wheels. Now, mine thankfully isn't terrible, but you can see there on the roof especially, it's noticeable. On the hood, well, this section that would normally be a hood, that is also very noticeable. And this was an extremely common problem for this release, so definitely something to make note of there. Coming over here, we have no such issues on the MiniGT. It looks very, very nice in the paint department. Over on the Hot Wheels, we have these 5-spoke wheels, and they are, as we mentioned, 2 different sizes, which kind of gives it an odd look, but overall, not terrible. Over here, we do have accurate wheels, which looks very, very nice. They are, once again, 2 different sizes, but it's not nearly as drastic of a difference on the MiniGT here. Getting into the nitty-gritty of the actual details, if you look up front, the MiniGT does not have the little Countach LP800, whereas the Hot Wheels, as hard as it is to see, actually does. It's right there. So definitely a point for Hot Wheels category there. It's a very minor detail, but it's definitely important. And if you watched my review on the MiniGT, you'll know already that this is just a strip of like decaling that there's nothing actually behind, which can create a very yucky, unpleasant look overall up front on the MiniGT. As far as the other detailing up front, they both have Lamborghini logos. They both have plastic inserts for the headlights. However, it is just the window piece on the Hot Wheel. There is slightly better detailing of the actual headlights on the MiniGT. Interiors, you do get that really nice red interior on the Hot Wheels, which I think looks really good. You do get slightly more details on the interior of the MiniGT, however. Making your way on the sides, you'll see this side intake is very nicely detailed on the Hot Wheels. You can even see how it changes to sort of like a radiator meshing on the inside, which looks really cool. The MiniGT also sort of does that. It's not noticeable, I should say. But this is actually like a carbon fiber tampo on the MiniGT, which looks really good. From the top side down, you can see the MiniGT has just ever so slightly crispier details, but they really have about the same of everything you really need to have. Again, the MiniGT's engine is visible though. On the rear section here, we have plastic taillights, for the MiniGT. They are an insert, and we have just a tampoed on for the Hot Wheels. We do get a license plate section on the Hot Wheels, which looks really good. And actually, from this angle alone, I actually like the way the Hot Wheels did it better, if I'm going to be totally honest. So that brings round 2 to a close. And overall, the MiniGT is just a touch more realistic. And therefore, it's going to get 3 points. And the Hot Wheels will take 2 points for the paint and details category. Round 3, value for your money. So the Hot Wheels is going to come in at about $7, give or take a few cents, maybe about $6.50. It really depends on where you're able to find it. And while I do think that is a touch overpriced, it is not too shabby. The MiniGT, however, is going to set you back about $12. Normally, I would say that is worth every penny on a MiniGT. However, this one, I don't know if it's necessarily quite there. I honestly really, really hate that this strip right here is just a sticker that hovers over nothing. It's free floating there. If I poke it with this toothpick, you can see it move. And it just sometimes really does not look good. It looks wavy. And that is not worthy of $12, especially when there's absolutely no reason for this to not have some sort of metal backing on it at all. So I would say the MiniGT is definitely a little bit overpriced, which is a wild thing that I'm saying. So that brings round 3 of value to a close. And MiniGT is going to get 2 points for this time. And Hot Wheels will take 3 points for this category. Round 4 is our roll test. So the Hot Wheels rolls perfectly silky smooth as you would expect from a Hot Wheels. The MiniGT also very silky smooth, no resistance really at all. Yeah, not really a big difference roll test wise between the two. So that brings round 4 to a close. MiniGT will take home 2 points and Hot Wheels will take home 2 points, meaning that round 4 is a draw. And with that, the final bell rings. It's time to tally up our scores. Here's the scorecard. And as you can see, MiniGT will take the win with 10 points versus Hot Wheels 9 points. It was a very narrow victory, but the MiniGT takes the win and reigns supreme. So the MiniGT comes out on top on the scorecards. However, for me, I can't really say it's a strong enough win that I can say, oh, you don't need to even bother with the Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels definitely offers a better value, and if you are able to find one that does not have the orange peel paint, I would honestly say it's not a bad pickup at all. I actually am going to be collecting the Hot Wheels instead of the MiniGT. I'm going to be saving myself a few bucks. I'm not going to get rid of this version of the MiniGT because I do quite like it, and I think that this is kind of the standard kind of Halo version of the car in my collection. But for all the different variations and colors, I think I'm going to be just okay with owning the Hot Wheels. However, there are quite a few other parties in the Countach space. And there is one that is cheaper than the MiniGT, but much more detailed than the Hot Wheels. So, with that, I think another Diecast Duel is in store. And with that, that is all I have for this Diecast Duel. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on these particular models and which one you prefer to collect. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next video.